Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, your home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at MindWalk. This is the new unified brand behind IPA, or ImmunoPrecise Antibodies, and its subsidiaries. A lot to talk about, including some recent developments. Before we get into that though, take a second, smash the like button guys. Big help to myself and the channel, specifically in getting this content to other people like you who may find value. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to join and let us know in the comment section below if you're currently holding shares of MindWalk and what you think about this company moving forward. With that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at MindWalk Holdings Corporation. Before we get into it, we did want to thank today's video sponsor, Outside of the Box Capital, for sponsoring today's podcast on behalf of MindWalk. Now, as you can see, trades on the NASDAQ under the ticker HYFT. This company was formerly known as IPA, or ImmunoPrecise Antibodies. We've covered them quite extensively on the channel, but today we wanted to walk through this rebrand, why the change, what this really means for the company, and their most recent earnings. Now, I'm recording the video after the close on Friday, September 19th. You can see down about 8% or 15 cents per share to close the week out at $1.73, giving up another 2 cents in after hours trading. However, if we zoom out to a 6-month view, you can see up a respectable 293% over the 6-month period, and better yet, 319% on a year-to-date view. Now, as I just mentioned, MindWalk is essentially the new unified brand for IPA, or ImmunoPrecise Antibodies, and its many subsidiaries, harnessing this exponential power of AI to transform drug discovery. We've talked about IPA, or ImmunoPrecise Antibodies, on the channel before. The family of companies are officially evolving into MindWalk, a name in which they feel marks their transformation into a next-generation bio-native AI company, advancing biologics discovery and development. Now, this new brand or evolutionary step forward really is a reflection of what the company's been building on top of that strong foundation, bringing this bio-native AI, multi-omics data, and advanced lab research into a unified biointelligence ecosystem. At the core, of course, is their LensAI platform, which we've covered extensively on the channel, designed again to transform drug discovery into a faster, more precise, and fundamentally informed by biology approach, ranging from their epitope mapping, which rivals X-ray crystallography, to what's known as de novo molecular design and in silico vaccine development and optimization. Again, we'll look at this in more detail next up. They're redefining what AI can achieve in biologics research and giving you the opportunity to have this exposure in your portfolio. Now, one of the things I really like about this new reimagined MindWalk Holdings is this vertical integration or full stack lab research platform, which to date has already supported over 15 candidates advancing into the clinic and achieved in excess of 98% success in leading B-cell discovery because of this full vertical integration or design, build, test, learn loop under one roof or one company. And again, we've talked about the benefits of this in silico process, which provides insights into validating candidates, again in a virtual or AI-based fashion. Now, in terms of the components of the company itself or the subsidiaries, IPA, ImmunoPrecise Antibodies, is the full-service antibody discovery development company, again combining that advanced lab research, diversity-driven approach, and the integrated AI or artificial intelligence and data analysis to support therapeutic, anti-drug, and diagnostics programs for partners worldwide. They've then got BioStrand, which again is a subsidiary of IPA. This is where the LensAI platform, powered by their HYFT, again, the new ticker symbol for this company technology, which connects over 25 billion relationships across sequence, structure, function, and literature to develop deeper insights, move faster, and drive smarter discovery. And then finally is Talem, which is a subsidiary of IPA and essentially acts as the vault of therapeutic antibody assets, a pipeline targeting what's known as high incidence diseases built for clinical relevance and long-term value. Now, we're going to talk about some of the additional details and thinking behind MindWalk in a second as we move into the investor presentation. But before we do, we did want to bring up an article that came out on the 3rd of September, marking the official rebrand from ImmunoPrecise Antibodies to MindWalk and the NASDAQ ticker change again to HYFT, from the former ticker IPA. And this essentially kicked off everything else we're going to talk about in today's presentation. Now, Dr. Jennifer Bath, the president and CEO of MindWalk, goes on to say, today is an evolutionary step forward. Inspired by Darwin's thinking path, MindWalk is about seeing what others can't, patterns hidden in biology that point to better medicines. Our role is to convert that insight into impact, uniting science, computation, and responsible experimentation to change the pace of care. And for those of you familiar with the theory of evolution, you'll know who Charles Darwin is, with the name actually coming from Charles Darwin's daily walks along what he called his thinking path, where he questioned convention and advanced new theories. MindWalk is now carrying that spirit forward, and it represents a modern extension of that philosophy, a transformative pattern-seeking journey through the complexity of biology, powered by the combined strength of AI, or artificial intelligence, data, and advanced lab research. And you can see they talk about some of these key business highlights, including this unified brand identity or approach, encompassing IPA, ImmunoPrecise Antibodies, BioStrand, and Talem, which together form under this umbrella known as MindWalk Holdings. Now, in addition to this, there's going to be a shift in the underlying business model as well. We'll look at this next up, transitioning from a standalone wet lab service to an integrated scalable platform company model. This includes launching DaaS, or Data as a Service, Software as a Service, enhancing asset generation, and enabling large-scale partnerships. And finally, of course, that ticker symbol change from IPA to HYFT, which again better aligns with the company's overall branding. Now, if we jump into the investor relations portion of the MindWalk website, you're going to find a couple of great presentations that give a lot more color and context into these recent developments. The first of which came out in September and talks about this new end-to-end bio-native AI platform known as MindWalk. Now, as we mentioned earlier, this is a new unified brand approach, a strategic evolution. The change reflects transformation from the wet lab service model to this bio-native AI platform, again inspired by Darwin's daily walks along these thinking paths. It's a new identity with the same mission and a focus on reinforcing their U.S. expansion and operational centralization down in Austin, Texas. MindWalk is the first to make biological diversity truly computable, integrating multimodal data into a living structured system for faster, deeper discovery. Now, we've talked about some of these key competitive advantages in our prior videos, really focused around pioneering this new ecosystem, harnessing the advantages of LensAI, or AI integration, this one-of-a-kind multi-omics data platform, which can unify fragmented patient records, sequences, lab data, and more literature into a single scalable system for faster, more accurate delivery, a wealth of experience and expertise that's been demonstrated multiple times, not to mention the scalability and speed, transforming months or even years of work into mere hours, and of course, finally positioning themselves for value creation as a publicly traded company, delivering a differentiated end-to-end solution at the intersection of AI, data, and biology to drive innovation and, in turn, shareholder value. Now, this slide here gives some good insight into the investment thesis or highlights. They've got the patented HYFT technology, again, which now aligns with the ticker symbol, enabling life science companies to de-risk their programs through faster, cheaper, and significantly lower cost strategies or delivery methods. The AI-driven BioStrand subsidiary, rapid growth, and much more lucrative gross margins in the neighborhood of approximately 90%, versus the existing or legacy operations in the 50% gross margins range. And as of September 15th, a total cash position of $20.1 million and zero debt on the balance sheet with an improving cash burn profile. Now, earlier I talked about some of these existing industry relationships. They have over 750 active clients and are partnered with 19 out of the top 20 global pharma companies through their wet labs business, and of course a strong IP or intellectual property portfolio, including over 25 granted patents protecting proprietary technology and driving further competitive advantages. So here you can see this LensAI Foundation AI model powered by HYFT or HYFT. This is an LLM or large language model harnessing embedded unique biodata intelligence clusters, patented technology, over 660 million objects, and again 25 billion connections, making this one of the most robust models currently on the market. So as you can imagine, by harnessing AI and linking all of these data points together, this can rapidly improve not only the speed and cost of drug delivery. You can see generally ranging anywhere from 10 to 15 years in terms of the drug discovery process and costing up to $2 billion per successful drug. It's just not viable in today's day and age, and it makes a lot more sense to compile this fragmented data and really evolve from the status quo or the current set of tools such as traditional knowledge graphs or sequence alignment software. So as we just mentioned, LensAI unifies all these key data types, applies HYFT's reasoning to reveal these hidden relationships, and as a result, accelerates drug design, making drug discovery faster, smarter, cheaper, and more precise. Again, with over 25 plus billion biologic connections, really revealing these hidden insights. So as a result, really positioning LensAI with this unique competitive advantage. You can see it's the first platform to encode biological semantics at the storage layer, essentially acting as a biological fingerprint with inherent semantic meaning. Now, in terms of how they're monetizing this business model, again, it's a hybrid SaaS and partnership model, or service as a software and partnership model. The benefit of this, of course, is recurring platform fees, so enterprise subscription fees to access the HYFT or HYFT and LensAI platforms. There's usage and API consumption billing. There's usage and API consumption revenue, which is a pay-as-you-go for batch analysis model. There's data onboarding fees, so a one-time setup fee per customer to import or onboard all of their data. And then finally, what's known as partnered discovery economics, which focuses on upfront, milestone, and royalties on co-developed antibodies, peptides, or vaccines. So multiple different revenue streams, many of which are recurring. Again, great to see from an investor standpoint. Now, the final slide I wanted to leave you with out of this presentation talks about the market opportunity. In terms of total addressable market, the AI drug discovery TAM, or total addressable market projections, are expected to exceed $50 billion by 2030, with life sciences data management representing a multi-billion-dollar market, with Informatica as an example, with approximately 25% market share and $445 million worth of quarterly revenue. Now, that's exactly why Jennifer and the team at MindWalk are so excited about this AI-powered vertical SaaS or service as a software opportunity. Again, targeting this rollout to existing wet lab clients, including 19 of the top 20 global pharma companies. And here's a look at some of those top tier partners and existing relationships that MindWalk already has in place. Now from there, the next key development I wanted to talk about came out on the 15th of September, so just this past week, with MindWalk Holdings, again formerly known as ImmunoPrecise Antibodies, reporting earnings including a record $7.6 million in quarterly revenue, 45% growth, margin expansion, narrowed losses, and a strengthened balance sheet. Now we can walk through some of the first quarter highlights here, then we'll jump into the investor presentation. The revenue growth was substantial, up 45% year over year, and coming in at a record $7.6 million. Their gross margins improved to 53%, with gross profit coming in at $4 million versus $2.4 million last year. Their operating loss and adjusted EBITDA both reduced by nearly half, with their net loss improving to $3 million versus a loss of $4 million last year. And again, a cash balance in excess of $20 million based on the $5 million they had available at quarter end and the $16.1 million in net proceeds from their Netherlands divestiture, which was part of this transformation process. And then go on to talk about some of the recent corporate highlights, which we've focused on in today's presentation. Now, in terms of the earnings presentation, you can see some strong numbers here. Again, record revenue and impressive growth over the prior year period. We've talked about the rebrand that they currently have underway and this biointelligence ecosystem, which is a first-in-class bio-native AI-enabled data platform, allowing MindWalk to achieve that best-in-class advanced lab research. And a nice little look at their historic quarterly revenue profile and revenue growth over prior year periods. So with that being said, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section below on this reimagined MindWalk Holdings Corporation, specifically if you're already holding shares. Again, there's a lot going on under the surface here, a very unique and differentiated business model with a number of potential catalysts on the horizon. If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. That's all for now, and we'll see you back here in our next video.